Praise and glory be to God, the cherisher, sustainer, and King of the worlds, and peace and blessings be upon His noble prophets and messengers. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the first episode in the series entitled Beloved Acquaintances. And I'm sure you're all sitting there curiously wondering, what is this guy going to talk about? Beloved acquaintances? Are we going to hear a romantic story about a guy and a girl meeting each other and falling deeply in love? Or better yet, is this show going to be a Muslim version of Forbidden Love? And before your mind gets carried away with more interesting ideas, the answer to your questions is yes and no. Though we'll be touching on the subject of love very often in this series, the show is not specifically about love between a man and a woman. The show is about getting to know the Prophet and his companions. And this series comes at a critical time, a very critical time, when we Muslims are in need of guidance. We need people to look up to, people to learn from. Basically, we need role models. And I feel so bad when I hear my young brothers and sisters say that they want to be like this athlete or that singer or that actor. And no disrespect to the artists, athletes, and all the other famous people out there. On the contrary, these guys are amazing at what they do. They set the example in terms of hard work and dedication. But what I'm saying is that it hurts that nobody wants to be like Khalid ibn al-Walid, one of the greatest military minds of all time. Forget wanting to be like him. How many of us have even heard of him? How many of us have heard of Sumayya, the first martyr in Islam, the lady who was tortured to death to give up her religion, but who resisted because of her love towards God? These early Muslims sacrificed their property, their wealth, their families, and many times their lives for us to be here today as Muslims. And yet we haven't even heard of them? After this series, I want my brothers and sisters to say, yo, I want to be like this companion or that companion. In fact, I'm confident that after hearing the stories of these simple people like us, brothers and sisters, but simple people who changed the world, I'm confident that you'll be proud of being Muslim, as I was when I first heard these stories. I was overwhelmed with happiness when I heard these stories for the first time back in 2001. I was in university doing engineering in Canada, and I came back to the UAE for winter break to see my parents. And one night, we were watching TV and they said to me, "Did you hear about this guy who's taking the Arab world by storm with his show about the Prophet and his companions?" I said no, but I was really curious to find out. And after watching an episode that night, I was literally in tears. And the first thought that came to my mind was, I just wish my English-speaking brothers and sisters could hear these stories for themselves. And so here it is, people. This series is a sincere attempt to try and transmit to you the beauty of these inspiring stories so that you too can become acquainted with the Beloved. So why did we choose this title, Beloved Acquaintances? To be honest, I didn't make up this title. It was actually derived from a companion of the Prophet who said while he was on his deathbed, "Soon I will become acquainted with the Beloved, Muhammad and his companions. Soon I will reunite," he says, "with the beloved Prophet and his friends." And now it's our turn, brothers and sisters, to become acquainted with the Beloved. We want to know who these great men and women were. We want to walk in their footsteps, use their stories as study guides, and love them. So every episode, we're going to take a companion of the Prophet and we're going to recount his or her story. But we're not only here for storytelling, so not only am I going to give you the story, but we're going to take this 1400-year-old story and we're going to bring it to the 21st century. We're going to put it in today's context. How does this story relate to our lives today? And before concluding this introductory episode, I want to say a couple of words to our non-Muslim viewers. I know a lot of you have a really bad image of Islam because of some of the things that Muslims do. And I want to apologize with all of my heart to all of you who hold grudges against Islam because of the actions of some Muslims. Really, Islam in my eyes is so beautiful, so logical and precious. But then I look at some of the followers and I'm like, what the heck is going on? No wonder non-Muslims think so negatively of Islam. So I always tell people not to judge a religion based on the actions of some of its followers. It's just not right. But I'm going to make an exception to this rule. If you really want to judge Islam based on the actions of some of its followers, then use the followers that are going to be mentioned in this series. Take Islam from the source, not from some of us Muslims today who really don't know much about Islam or its teachings. And so I want to dedicate part of this show to our non-Muslim friends, as an apology to those who've been wronged in the name of Islam, and as an eye-opener to what the true Islam really looks like. Alright people, I've introduced the show, I've told you a bit about it, why we're doing it and stuff, but I think it's about time we start meeting these beloved individuals. So get yourself a nice hot chocolate and find a cozy place to sit, and prepare yourself to be acquainted with the Beloved.